Hey, so today I'm going to do a little bit of a challenge run. So hungry, feed me. I'm going to do no mastery points on, you can see I have them disabled. These perks are not required to succeed on your journey, but they surely help. They will not be helping us this time, and we're playing as Deprived on Cinder 16. So the achievement is for beating death on floor 10 with at least 10 curse as the Deprived, and also doing that with no masteries. So you can get both of them at once. That will be a bit of a challenge for me. So after dancing, we're going to grab some dice that I'll probably forget to use. We have the option as Deprived to upgrade these doors and make them give us curse. Generally, I'm going to try to use that to upgrade doors with food behind them, probably valuing the extra stat a bit higher than getting extra bombs or extra keys or extra money. It is annoying that I have the beep going on when I only have one heart, even though I have like I'm not on one hit from death. I have the block. I might go. I mean, it won't be a problem for that long. I'm gonna, as quickly as I can, of course, get to 2 hearts from a favor. And speaking of that, we can upgrade the soul drop in this next room. That's gonna get us a bit closer to the 30 souls we need to get to 2 hearts, so I'm gonna do that quickly. More so just to not die, rather than to avoid having to hear the beep, but the beep is a bit annoying too. It'll be gone soon. So, floor 1, not too difficult. I'm not going to the tavern because nothing I really want to do there yet. Healing is a bit annoying. And of course Shrine is much better. It's gonna be move speed here. Trigger damage, so triggering stuff is not gonna be on the agenda. The way curse works is that it causes rolls for various problems to have, like when you select a trait, the problem that will happen is that trait will be locked that you chose, and you have to pick your second favorite. But the main thing it does in combat is it makes your hits into cursed hits. So with 10 curse by the end, I'm gonna be having all my hits be cursed hits, and what that does is it halves your chance of proccing anything with a, like, you know, on hit you have 35% chance. That would be, you know, 17.5. So I'm going to try to angle my build not to use any kind of on hit stuff. So what was the point of this? Oh yeah, the blessing in the shrine, which was like on triggered stuff. Many things that get triggered come from those on-hit things, so I don't value that. It's a long way of saying like the move speed is just more reliable. I'm probably not building towards things that would be helped by that blessing, even though it's a good blessing very often. On dash, your next 5 attacks or skills. So critical hits also count as on-hit effects. So with cursed hit, we're not going to be building a lot of crit chance. It's just not very efficient. Lucky hit also doesn't make a ton of sense. But here, it's not about crit chance, it's just you're getting guaranteed crits. So that is something that I will be able to carry through the whole game and just have that way to actually get quite a lot of crits. So crit damage is going to be good, but crit chance will be bad, because I'm getting them reliably, but not through crit chance. Upgrading again to get some more curse and some strength. It's probably going to be our main stat. Some tough dodging with this Warmech. This is one of the Cinder 16 buffs, or debuffs, however you want to think of it, is that the Warmech appears sometimes, and the Grim Reaper death shows up as well, and they can show up together. Although I was going to be seeing a lot of Grim Reapers anyway with the curse that I'm stacking. Both of those can cause death to show up. But Warmech here, this is actually kind of the easiest pattern. There's 3 different options that he'll do, and oh, well, talk shit, get hit. I do lose my block, and now I am 1 hit from dying. But it's no big deal. And it's floor 2. Tomahawk, acoustic guitar, consecration tome. So we're not taking that. We're probably taking the tomahawk here, since it scales with strength. Precise, extra critical hit chance. We just described why that's not really what I'm looking for. So this is not a long-term weapon, but it's replacing the starter weapon. I will grab a wooden chest, looking for a key. Nice. So when I have 0 keys or 0 bombs, I will probably prioritize them over stats, unless maybe it's 3 stats at once. The superfoods. Beep beep. Curse Blessing is nice. Repeats are also triggered, so I usually don't think I care about that. A little bit of extra radiant damage is long-term unimportant, I feel, but in the short term, could be pretty good. And still, Tavern is not really interesting. I guess if I'm desperate, if I feel like I can't fight this coming boss otherwise, I could stack booze on myself, get some beer. Nice, +3 strength. But I don't feel that desperate. You know, why would I get hit? Just dodge. These arcane enchanted lasers can be quite tricky. So I'm gonna go accessory, obviously we don't want a magic thing. So magic is especially bad with this curse stacking because int scales your critical hit chance. Already described why I'm not trying to build towards critical hit chance. I'm getting critical hits in a guaranteed way, and those would be affected negatively by cursed hits. So definitely looking to scale with a combination of strength and dexterity. And I'm getting some extra non-weapon scaling, but statistical bonuses from just the fact that I am cursed as deprived. So that's giving me more top-end damage, I believe, equip load from strength, and then move speed and attack speed from dexterity, which is mitigating the any disadvantage I have from not getting critical hits the normal way, or the lack of being able to use proc style things. So gold armor, this is interesting. So it's trigger a missile every 5 seconds. That's quite strong right now versus treasure find. Treasure find could be really good in the long run. Just wear that until near the end and accrue lots of benefits. But I'm thinking I kind of need the short-term effect. This is this is thousands of damage on this missile. And, you know, I'm talking a big game about just not getting hit in early floors, but I do want help. So 30, I very often don't spend my souls as soon as I hit 30, because I'll save it until I have like 40 or something, so that if I see a evil or good shop where I want something, I'll be able to use that shop. But here I am going to spend down to 0 just to quickly get rid of my 1 heart issue. I want to have 2. Give myself a little bit of a cushion, stop the beeping. So did the beeping stop when I got armor? I forget already. Doesn't matter. We have 2 hearts now, which is nice. Also lets us, kind of goes without saying, but lets us pick up chests that require, like blood chests, which you have to sacrifice a heart for. But we're going to use a curse here again to get +3 strength instead of +1. And here's Death, who is not too troublesome as long as he's not showing up at the same time as Warmech or just a tough room in general. Finally, we're getting to our first trait here, level 1. And looking quickly, it's going to be pushing through, because it's just scaling everything. Damage, move speed, stamina recovery. It's just good. And we did not suffer a cursed trait cancellation. It didn't get locked, so that's very good. Otherwise, we would have probably taken the stamina recovery one, which I saw below. Can't upgrade the strength. Probably going to look for a set item. We just don't have that much equipment yet. Maybe we'll see something good. And we don't see something good. It's +2 cold damage. We don't deal that. I guess maybe we could in the future. This guy's gonna be a little bit spooky, dashing at you quickly. A little bit of a tough choice. I do want experience. Getting some levels would be nice, but like I said, int is not really mattering long term, so grab some money. And you know, we don't have any gloves. Just take some gloves, but I don't like this weapon that we're using too much. I do want to find a weapon I'm willing to commit to, probably within the next floor, and just kind of stick with that the rest of the run. makes things easier. I can just use the first blacksmith I see, use this money that I've saved up to fully upgrade it, and then not have to wonder about like, am I sticking with this? Am I like, does it make sense to go all in on equipment setups that work with it? I'll just say yes, it is, because we're sticking with it forever. Usually the first like reasonable rare weapon that I see, I'll just decide, yeah, that's good enough. With some exceptions. This guy's not too tough. Don't even lose the block that we've got. And we see plus 20 dexterity, artisan gloves. That's really good. Treasure find per good. Explosive stuff, so that works with my armor that I have right now, but I don't think that's like my long-term armor, and plus 20 dexterity is just insane. I'm getting more value from that off of being deprived with curse. I'm going evil shop over good because, like, one, I kind of prefer fighting Eamon at the end of the game over Eden. Just think it's a more fun fight. While I can cheaply get some evil points, I'm just gonna do it. I don't love these charms that much, but they do something, and it's quickly advancing me towards 4 evil. So yeah, the other thing I was going to say, besides liking Eamon more as a fight, is if I find the black market or the secret shop or whatever you want to call it, that's a free evil point, and there's no equivalently like easy good points that I'm likely to find. Nice to have a cushion of soul hearts here. So you get 2 options for good and 2 for evil in the tavern, and what, 1 lawful option, or are there 2? I forget. But the secret shop is like the one that I'm liable to find even without. Like I could find it here, right? Oh no. The separator. Hacks. Ruthless hit chance. Double my top end damage. That's very nice. BD scaling. That's a okay-ish range, though it says short range. I think this could be it. Unfortunately, yeah, you see 23 out of 10 for dexterity scaling. Like I'm already way past the soft cap with this plus 20 gloves with dexterity, but like it's not the worst thing in the world. Like I'm still gonna have fine damage if I get the B scaling strength to the top. I'll take a look at more weapons, maybe find something with better dexterity scaling, but no, D, and then a wand. So this is unfortunate. The this Giant Slayer could be pretty good. It's double against bosses, although really I'm not too concerned about that. I often find like at the end of the game, the rooms before the bosses are as threatening as the bosses. Halberd, I do like using halberds. And that type of weapon. This Giant Slayer is more interesting. I'm probably gonna grab it, but I like having an offhand. Like the block is just, it feels good. Be able to make 1 extra mistake per floor. And yeah, the separator that I just picked up just kind of feels fine. 2 dexterity for 1 strength, like I just described why I don't want that, because dexterity is soft capped with this thing. And I think I am committing to it in spite of that. Like if I found something with like BB scaling, that would be fantastic, but I didn't find it, and I think it's about time to commit. I do kind of want that that curse. Not worry about getting to 10. But if I even spend 14 on bombs, then I'm at 39, and then that's just shy of being able to afford 2 upgrades to get my separator to plus 3. So I think I'm not spending any money right now. I can look in the tavern. I was kind of looking for mead. That would be an affordable plus 1 evil. The blacksmith is here, so I don't want to spend down below 40. But I can grab some alcohol. Nothing else really interesting. I don't want to do the arcane enchantment. I mean, I can't afford it, but I'd just rather get to plus 3 right now. So buy a couple of beers. Yeah. And let's open the way to the blacksmith. So I kind of just learned about how the scaling on these weapons works. Essentially, if you don't know, the the letter grades like S through E scaling. Ooh, I can't afford this at all, so that's a dead room. They only affect how high the stat soft cap is. So with a 10 soft cap on this D scaling dexterity weapon, I'm getting full value, like a plus 5%, I believe, for every point up to 10. And then after that, it's only 0.5. So it's 1/10 as effective for points that go above the soft cap. Although it's still scaling somewhat, it's not 0. So if you were only thinking about the weapon scaling, it would make no sense at all to go above the soft caps. But dexterity, for example, is providing me with move speed, attack speed. It's providing me with more of those things because the Deprived, the curses, and there could be other things in the future, like traits I take, which make me get more things off stats. So it's not an optimal weapon for what I'm using right now, but it's fine. Poison damage to a weapon accessory, I don't really want that. My automatic crits seem better than that. This flower pot I can't wear with my equip load issues. That's going to change pretty soon. I'm going to be stacking strength as my only priority stat from now on. But plus 5 damage per mana container that you have. The thing is, that is more interesting to me right now, but I don't really want that set to be my long-term set. And that means I don't want to pick up a part of the set because it biases future set items to be parts of sets that you already have, if that makes sense. So I don't really want to grab a mediocre set item, even if it's okay just on its own right now, because it'll bias future set items, and I'd rather see better sets than that. I'm not going to wear this flower pot right now. Maybe I'll wear it when I get some more strength. Maybe I'll just sell it. Looking for a better helmet for sure. Wish I could buff this strength door, but I'm just shy of the mana required to do so. So there's death. How is my damage looking now that I've gotten +3? It's not bad. Those crits are really ripping up death, as you can see. And then the missile really polished them off. So this armor is probably not going all the way with us, but it's going to be really useful for a long time. Just those big missile hits just can't really be relied upon for the end of the game. Enemies move really fast. Ooh, I just barely avoided dashing into the laser there. Rather, I did dash into it, but my post-dash iframes you get a few of covered my escape. Could go to a pawn shop and pawn some of this stuff. I think it is worth it. I have enough junk. I don't need to keep this flower pot. Even if I, get a few more strength, I can put it on. I don't care that much. And these weapons will give me some money. I'm at 3 gold right now, so I can't use like a shop if I have to see a random one. Would like to get up to around 30. Nice. So yeah, get rid of that. Now we are flush with cash. We have keys, we have bombs, we kind of have everything. We just want strength, not dex so much. This is a bit of a hard choice. I will look for some kind of treasure here in the rock over dex. Though, like I said, dex is not useless. Honestly, a big consideration for wanting some more dex is just wanting XP. Am I still level 1? Yeah, I don't have a lot of traits giving me synergies at the present moment. These guys are drunk. Gonna grab some booze. Wine is not really it, but is that whiskey that gives move speed? That is pretty good. I can visit a shop now because I have money. But Soul Heart has value. It is a little bit of guaranteed value. I could see nothing I want in the shop. So this is kind of a safe play. And I don't have so much money that I it's burning a hole in my pocket. I can just save it and make use of it later. Take a little bit of free value right now. So that was an experiment. Turns out that the cursed burger does not go above +1/+1. So it's just the +1 to a single stat food items indoors that seem to be affected. So I kind of blew my skill there. No big deal. It's all a learning process. Always annoying to see the Grim Reaper in a boss room. I very often take damage as a result. Oop. Got through there. Quickly get through the robot ads. By the way, the robot ads are also from a Cinder 16 debuff. And now we're down to the boss, so should be simple. Don't have to use my dash to get through that charge, but it's easier. And this is the tricky part, but the secret, as in so many games, is walk in a circle. It's also the risk of rain tech. Kind of corner myself, use a dash to get out of it. My poor missile doesn't know where to go. Yeah, so as you can see, when the enemy is moving, the missiles don't have great tracking. But it's kind of making up for that with the size of the AoE and the fact that like my weapon is not super long range. So in regular non-boss rooms, just it's clearing out things that I'm not even noticing while I fight the things that are closest to me. Plus 35% damage at close range is not the most fantastic thing in the world, but it's better than the other things I was shown. There are going to be some bosses where I'm like super close range all the time, and some where I'm probably not going to be quite getting the bonus. So attack speed is good. I'm at 3 out of 4. I would probably just buy one of these to guarantee that I'm at 4 already, but I can't afford them. And that's probably overcautious. I don't want the charms, I just want to not have to think about getting to 4 as early as possible. So I often kind of waste resources getting myself there. Not today. So I often check if those sharks that run at you are dying quickly enough. That's kind of a way to gauge my damage at this point in the run, and they are dying quite fast, so that's good. My equipment could use some upgrades. Grabbing a free rare weapon would be nice just for money, or maybe find something better than what I'm using. But like, a good helmet would be great. This is also, obviously the ice climbers I was using were doing nothing, so on dash do some lightning, that's fine. There's not a chance it's not affected by cursed, so fantastic. Going to top off my tipsiness. So you can kind of wait until there's 0 rooms until it's going to tick down, and then you refresh the sobriety meter, I guess, by drinking again. That's allowing me to stretch the booze buff longer and longer. Can still consider just how much I love this weapon. Like I said, I do like to commit, but this is a little bit awkward not to be getting dexterity, but it's fine. Dexterity scaling, that is. It's good enough. Things are dying. Things will continue dying, I'm sure. There's no way I will get outskilled. Clueless. So that organized the inventory a little bit. And do I want to pay for dex? It's just for the level up if I did it, but no. I don't really want to pay a heart, and that is the kind of door I mentioned before. Like I want to have 2 hearts ASAP so that I can take a door like that if it's to somewhere good. Go bombs over dice. By the way, I still haven't actually used those dice I got at the start of the run, because as I always say, I get dice because it's smart to get them, and then I don't use them because it's hard to remember that they're there. Magic is, or my mana is slowly ticking back up. It's per room, so, and it's quite a small amount per room. So it's actually kind of a concern. We do need to think about getting to 10 curse by floor 10. It's kind of coming up already. Go for another charm. This is a pretty tough fight, I feel. Easier when you have a good range weapon, because he'll stay in the corners and be kind of hard to hit, or hard to get close to safely for me. Just get good. Yeah, like here, it feels tricky to close the distance when he's doing this pattern, because you just have to think about the wave. It's too many factors. Gotta think about this double bomb enchantment. No, it's bomb and bone. It's got those two bones going on and the bombs. Enchantments, I should mention, that's from Cinder 16. Got some enchantments and some double enchantments, making boss fights a fair bit harder, because there's just more things to keep an eye on as you're dodging. Like I said, this is me kind of waiting out that part of the pattern where he wasn't too accessible in the corner, and then he starts dashing and he's easier to hit. Nature damage is doing nothing. Move speed applied to companion damage. Like, I have a companion, making him do double damage, more even, is kind of cool. I don't want to replace my accessory, but my boots just do damage already. I don't really care about my companion damage, honestly, unless I was able to make it so that it's also applying to me, like the Puppeteer set. So I think I'm just taking this, use this charm. I do have a infusion right now that's adding nature damage to my axe, which is kind of randomly used without thinking about it. Yeah, maple pine resin. So it's doing something right now, and I'm gonna just sell it later. +2 strength is good. I'm assuming I can't curse that, even if I had the mana with which to do so. War Mech is back. It's the easy pattern. We're chilling. I'd be more afraid of the rotating lasers rather than the radiant ones. Finally grab another trait. Best friends forever. Alacrity, give me attack speed. Best friends forever is an idea. But yeah, I am scaling with dexterity, even if not too much, so getting the attack speed bonus from that's going to be a big addition, or multiplication, really, of my damage. Yeah, so far not taking too many hits, so I guess my damage is just completely fine. Refill all hearts and flasks. Don't need that. They're full. But it is going to get trickier. Like, even already, those catmen, or whatever they are supposed to be, aren't taking too much from my axes. The missile's still doing great, though. Maybe I kind of underestimated this missile armor. Like, the missiles are chunking. Cursed broccoli is more curse. I want that. Hello, death. It's fine. So I'm at 8 curse. Couple floors to go. Should be fine. If I were really desperate, I could buy that just for +1 curse, but I don't think I'm that desperate. Revive, don't care. Like, I'm already very sad if I'm dying, because it means they chewed through my block, my armor, my 4 soul hearts, so I'm just not planning to have that happen. It's a cool shopkeep. Yeah, I was at 0 tipsiness, so keep that moving. Or 0 rooms until I lose tipsiness, rather. Wish I could buff this one. Checking out my strength scaling. Not quite there yet. Yeah, not a lot to say about these rooms. They're just not too problematic. I don't have a ton of range or damage, but I have enough of both. And the missiles are just kind of going nuts. It's the MVP so far, I would say. Is that armor? Very glad that I picked that instead of the treasure find armor chest. who knows? Maybe with the treasure find, I would have found just so much stuff by now. It would have been worth it. Phoenix, so I definitely get the close range bonus during this section of the fight. You can see he's melting pretty easily. Lightning resistance is not the enchantment that you wanted against me, my friend. I do often get cornered and I do take damage, but it's just in my block, so we didn't really take damage yet, effectively. But you weather that storm, you go back to the easy part of the fight, and all is well. Don't think he's dying quite here, but shortly thereafter. Oh, big missile. Yep. Lucky hit chance, don't care. Suppression, lightning damage. There's ideas there, but plus 20 dex is plus 20 dex. Like I'm getting that move speed, attack speed. I just kind of like that better. Body armor, damage per stack of tipsiness. That is definitely the most interesting to me. So I do think I can keep my tipsiness at 30% with this wine, even if the wine doesn't do too much else. My tipsiness, still at default, 3 stacks, but yeah, I'll take that. I keep being impressed by the missiles. I thought by now I'd be pretty happy to replace the missile effect, but I like it. So the consideration is like, if the missile armor, if I lose the armor point from it, then it's losing a decent amount of its value, and then maybe I replace it with extra damage. But right now, like, it's not too tempting. Like, I know plus 30% damage is sick. I just don't know if it's like that much better than these big missiles, which are killing things off screen for me, so I don't have to even think about them. Rotating lasers are frightening, especially when combined with death. These Medusa heads are rough. And then the skull lasers that you find in, what, the next floor, I think? Definitely where the game starts getting a bit rough in the rooms, not just in bosses. Yeah, so like I said, mainly taking dexterity at this point for XP. Traits can be a very big deal. They synergize with each other. They have a big effect. Let's go for something pretty big here. It's Booze. So Booze is a strong option. Burn and Bleed, don't care. Plus stats from Dexterity. Like, I have a ton of Dexterity, so that's actually quite good. But I think I'm going Booze. Double effect on Booze, and don't have to worry about topping it off all the time. So I have the beer and the whiskey. It's pretty good. I like damage, I like move speed. I don't think it showed. It was 40% there for beer, so I don't think it's showing that it's doubled for some reason. But I assume it's still working. It's what, 20 each, and then 10 from the whiskey. Should be 20 move speed really. I'm gonna look at charm, I believe, because I still have that nature charm. It's quite useless, and that is better. Now all of my charms, well, Magic Find I don't really need. Can replace that at my earliest convenience. Try to assume my final form. Easy Womack pattern. No big deal. I will never take damage. It could never happen to me. And done. More Booze got a lot less interesting now that I keep my effects permanently. Like, I just don't need to refresh it. So we go for some more decks. Tavern. I have the option to go in because of my 2 hearts. Great investment still. And I can top myself off in terms of the heart and the flask. Thanks to the nurse. But first, let's try an enchantment. Contaminated. 20 to 30 poison damage. Not really what I wanted. But, you know, we can roll with it. It's some more damage. It's not nothing. Maybe I'll find something that affects tick speed or whatever. Could be a little bit more useful. We don't really need to buy more beer, do we? So, what do we care about here? I'm thinking about rolling for something, but roll for what? Always a good time to dance, though. So what I see is the power potion. That could be a good thing to use if I feel kind of afraid in the next couple floors, or just save it for the end of the game. Plus, what, 20 power? It's a good damage buff. How much am I going to use this money is the question. I don't have a guaranteed like tavern. I don't have the masteries on to see the guaranteed tavern at the floor 9. So I think I do just grab this power pot. Save it. It's part of my endgame strat to beat the final boss, probably. And that's getting some value out of money, which otherwise may not have any value this far in the game. I could see myself regretting these words if I see something good in a shop soon. But power pot, I mean, it's good. It's not bad. More potions right away. So luck, meh. Random effects, more luck, I think. And I'll hang on to stamina recovery. Oh god, it's a shop. I think I look at it anyway. Could be something cheap. Oh my god. So that's what, 33 gold? I could have just afforded it if I didn't spend 20 on a potion. That would be nice. But honestly, extra heart, who needs it? Right? I'm not even going down to my hearts. I'm keeping these soul hearts forever. Yeah, maybe a little bit punished there. It's fine. Get a big chest here. I have all the bombs I'll ever need. Ooh. So I'm always confused by the fact that the raincoat is a helmet. Mithril coat is body armor, as you would expect a coat to be. And that is pretty good. 20% stats from companions, so that's extra close range damage based on the number of armor points I have. That makes these consumables that give armor better. Raincoat is the set that turns your stamina recovery into also damage percentage. So I love that. I want to find another part of that set, preferably the umbrella, because my my offhand slot hasn't changed since the start of the game. It's just +1 block, but you know, it's fine. I'm probably never using this pirate frock now. I mean, it's more damage, or it's at least more reliable damage, 30% as opposed to only close range 49%. But yeah, 2 block or 2 armor is a little bit more attractive. Now it's a question of what is going to be the most valuable to sell, because that's what this stuff is worth to me now, if I'm not going to use it again. Wine is not going to be used, I don't think. I can just use the stamina potion, yeah. Grab that to sell it. It's also the idea of saving it for the end of the game and maybe attuning it right at the end if I've already used up my 2 block from the mithril. Then I'll still have valuable armor, even if I have no way to repair. But it's kind of a convoluted thought process. Like, am I really not going to have a way to repair my armor? I have 2 armor repairs in my inventory right now. Like, let's not get crazy. Imagine me getting hit enough to use those. That would never happen. Cerberus fight is a little tricky here. There's no death or even anything like that happening. Meteor enchantment and totem enchants are kind of tricky though. Like, I haven't even punched through the robot Ed yet. There we go. I have to keep thinking about the totems, keep thinking about the meteors coming down. The meteors coming down at like the synced up time with the Cerberus drop is throwing me a little bit. But it could be a lot worse. Use those guaranteed crits to take out the totem. I could be dashing more often in an offensive light, like dashing because I know I want the 5 crits. But the extra killing power from that versus just saving my dashes for if I need them, I'd rather play it safe. Because sometimes Cerberus runs at you and you're like, well, I would like to dash. But yeah, parts like that, I could have just dashed at the beginning there and really recharged it by the time he even showed up again, but have the 5 crits ready to go. It's a little optimization I could be making. I'm not going to stress out about it too much. Just dodge. Rubber boots, that's the set. I get the set bonus from 2 of them, and that's going to be like doubling my damage. So yeah, I'll cursorily look over these other options, but we're going rubber boots here. Goodbye lightning dash boots. And hello damage. Like, that was a big turning point we just achieved with the raincoat hat for some reason and the rubber boots. I mean, we could be pretty set. Only the offhand is not looking too endgamey. So maybe I start rolling for offhand options in boss doors. Enemies count as dragons and fiends. So what I'm looking at there is my curse level. So I don't really want this, but it's cursed, so I get +1 curse. And I'm trying to do math in my head for how many more times I can cast curse this door as the Deprived. But I'm not going to do the math. I just assume I'm going to be able to get enough curse by the end of floor 10. This zombie charm is what I actually want. Because +5 strength is getting me a lot closer to the soft cap on my weapon. And magic find can go away at this point. Elemental damage, don't care, obviously. Yeah, 23 out of 30. I know that popped up pretty quick, but that's where I'm at for scaling. So we go to 28 out of 30. We're almost at the soft caps. And past that, we're just thinking about stats in terms of raising the modified by Deprived base stat stuff. I mean, I could buy that just for safety, guarantee that I have enough curse, but nah. I think we're looking pretty good. Plenty of bombs, so even though I don't have a key for this chest, I can just blow it up, probably get a key. Ow. Okay. It's playing so clean for so long, then I get a bit sloppy. Key, nice. And we're definitely gonna curse this. And that will bring me up to 31 strength. That's the soft cap. Our damage has basically arrived. Thanks in no small part to the rain set. And like, I don't want to discount the other part of it. Like, turning my stamina regen into damage is good, but stamina regen is good just by itself. I only have the 2 stamina. I'm not really gonna raise that, I don't think, other than the green blossom for the final boss. So just having that recover quicker is really useful defensively. Now that I have finally soft capped this, like, do we look for a different weapon? A dex scaling would be nice. AC, CA. I didn't really find the weapon of my dreams here. Like AA, strength dex scaling, would be really cool. But no. This doesn't give me... I just saw it get cursed by my high curse rating, but it just gives it a bad modifier, it seems. It doesn't make me take an extra curse when I pick it up. What's the least valuable thing here? Is it that? Pawn shop. Do I just use the power potion at this point? Get the value, get more money from selling the missile vest as well? Yeah. It's not a bad time to use it. It's not really a bad time to have more damage. Plus 9 gold from that decision, so cool. Could still think about if I get to the end of the game and attune the pirate frock with no armor left. Be more valuable, but forget it. I got burned by not having gold for the shop a couple floors ago, so let's not have that happen again. And go into the end of the game with plenty of money for anything I see. Out of block. This is the first time it's happened. I might actually take armor damage. Gotta be careful. Even if we take armor damage, though, we can protect the soul hearts with the consumables, the armor restoration things. Equipment for gold. It's just offhand that I would even care about. Grab some more potions instead. There's the rotating laser thing that I was afraid of. But the room just wasn't that threatening, so it didn't have a big impact. Oh my god. Talk shit, get hit. So, we can restore armor, it's fine. That potion, be nice to save. We are at 9 cursed, so this will do it. This takes us to 10. But we could go to the blacksmith. Just for 1 armor though, and we're paying a potion for it, or like not a potion, a flask. I have to distinguish that in this game. So I think we just take our 10 curse, be happy. I mean, the 2 keys shouldn't be neglected as part of the equation either. Like, we're out of keys. Cool. So the curse part is done. All we have to do is defeat death, and we have both achievements that we talked about. Burger over... I mean, we're soft capped. Consumables, like we could get the thing that upgrades your weapons, and if it's a melee weapon, it can go to +4. So I think random consumables are actually quite valuable. I had to do a quick little double dodge since I dodged into kind of a bad spot. I don't like to do that. I would like to always like dash somewhere safe and keep the other dash in my pocket, but got away with it there. +1 tipsiness. This is fine. Don't have any more booze on me though, because I left that wine behind. And it would actually affect my poison. It wouldn't do nothing. So we can look for more booze here as the game is winding down to make use of that cheese. We are still kind of behind the curve for traits for levels. I think power has to be more valuable than slashing, inflicting bleed. Although that would bias us towards picking up something that like improves tick speed, because I got poison and the bleed, and I do deal slashing with the separator. You gotta keep them separated, but it's just too much power. Actors are yourself, your companions, and enemies. Like, you're just getting so much power. The raw plus damage, I gotta go for it. Thing is, if I took that and curse blocked me from taking it, I'd be happy to take the slashing or the bleeding from slashing, that one. Soul Hearts is just a nice cushion. Like, generally don't take them early in the game, although I took them early in the game because I was afraid of just dying. But at the end of the game, it's pretty high value. because you can just carry that towards the end, have a big cushion. I am gonna remember to use my roll here. Companion summon items, like 49% damage at close range, but that's situational. And I don't really love having to think about, like, am I close range enough right now? Like, should I be trying to get closer to the boss to get the bonus? I'm just gonna bait myself into getting hit if I even think about it. So I don't really have in mind what the better companion item would be, but I'm gonna take a look. Because I could have rolled the door again, looking for offhand. I didn't need to dash there. Oh my god. Okay, getting kind of sloppy. I can't use the armor restoration item in combat, or I would use it right away to protect the soul hearts. Right now, I'm gonna protect them by trying to play better. Death is out of the way finally. Bones and missiles and fire resistance. He's got 3 enchantments. What's going on, King Use? At least fire resistance doesn't matter to me. If it was physical resistance, that'd be something. The tracking on the missiles is not too great, but enough to spook me. And this is the type of fight, like I've seen people say for challenge runs, like just do dashless. But if I have a short range weapon, I have to stay completely out of range like this of that stomp attack because I can't dash. It's gonna be such a boring fight, right? I don't think dashless is the kind of challenge that, well, I don't know. Maybe I'll do it. But this is the sort of fight that makes me think it wouldn't be too much fun. I guess you could just tank your way through it, but meh. Or just commit to a long range weapon. Damage per mana container you have. I know it's kind of crazy, but that's so much more reliable than close range damage that I want it. And I have 33 souls, and I've guaranteed my way to the Burning Hells, or whatever it's called. So I can just immediately get the favor for plus mana right now. And see what that adds up to. Gain favor. Not using my mana like at all, but what's it looking like? 42% damage, just unconditional. I like that. And I didn't really need an extra heart anyway. Those soul hearts keeping me safe. So now we're kind of feeling like we've arrived at the final form, just in time for floor 10. Our damage should be perfectly good for the rest of the game. But now, like, okay, it's looking for an offhand versus trying to get to level 6. I think we're going to try to get level 6 by just taking dexterity. And you might as well curse it to get a little bit more like move speed and attack speed. Probably just grab the infusion. Like, I am quite far away from level 6, but like you do get a ton of +1 XP items in the final 2 floors. Feels like they get offered like every single room. So I'm not too worried. I think I'll get to level 6 pretty comfortably. Maybe not before the not before Tiamat, but no big deal. As long as we get there before Aemon, I'm happy. I guess if my build has a weakness, it's that my range isn't terribly good. Okay, like, looking for an offhand makes sense, but like my offhand is already fine. Like if my offhands weren't giving me block, I'd be prioritizing the equipment treasure chest much more. But it's block, like at worst, +1 block. It's just a fine offhand. Yeah, obvious strength. Laser skulls. Okay, they're not floor 9, they're floor 10. So 8 has the laser like Medusa heads, and then the laser skulls are 10. Every now and then I'm like, oh yeah, I should look for a secret room, but I never see them, even if I'm looking for them. My eyes are just not good at detecting them. The shape of an X cannot be seen by me. Take an event. You seem to not meet the soul vessel's requirements. 2 traits and 5 souls. Well, I don't have 5 souls, so indeed not. I forget what this guy does. I've seen it before, but no, because I don't know what I missed, I won't be too upset. Well, I just lost my block. That's why these rotating lasers can be really spooky. Although I definitely didn't play that well. My block and my armor is gone. I'm gonna refresh the armor to protect the soul heart stash. Come into the final bosses with a big stack of those. It feels very safe. And nice. Blacksmith whetstone. That's what I mentioned before. Get me up to +4. Nice. This other stuff, don't care too much. Could look for offhand in that equipment item, but whatever. It's just so unlikely. I think it's +1 XP over +1 key. Tough room. Could be tricky. It's fine. So yeah, I mean, we have 2 green blossoms. That's Tiamat and Aemon. Trait number 5. Companions grant increased stats depending on how many you have. So yeah, we now do plus 132% damage with this only 3 mana stars. That ended up being a pretty good animal companion change, it seems to me. Just blow this up. One final rest, that's false advertising. There's gonna be 2 more. Look for a legendary item. Could be a shield. So this guy counts as beating the game for those achievements that I'm grabbing, but this will not be the end of the run, nor an especially tough fight. This move, very easy. If you just dash, you don't even have to dash. I'm just doing it to be extremely cautious. I have enough move speed, I could just walk out. And that's phase 1. This part can be tough. I have good dash recovery though, so I can dash twice there. I have another dash almost right away. Not very threatening. Back to this part. And he's dying in his next attack phase. This is the most fun part of the fight, having to circle while dodging the pattern, but we won't see too much of it here. Legendary sandals. Oh my gosh. Double move speed. Wouldn't be bad, but it would be extremely bad because it's breaking my rain set. Just gonna take it to sell it if we saw a pawn shop. I don't know if you can see a pawn shop. You might be able to see a secret shop in floors 11 and 12. I don't even know. Is Boozer not giving me double effects on the booze I drank before I got it? I wonder. Another mechanic I'm not sure about. Take a potion, sure. Be able to just drink it right away. Be pretty happy. So this is a tough room. These rooms that are like jam-packed with enemies. Hang on. These rooms, oh my god, that are jam-packed with enemies are caused by being Cinder 16. It's one of the Cinder debuffs. And they're usually not too big of a deal. This was a really tough one. My block is gone. Mono regen, I can just swig that ASAP. Look for another curse opportunity. Curse blessing, take it. Could be quite good. Get some power or something. But I need to like lock in a little bit because that was quite early damage on this floor. Boss reward offer, don't care. Poison duration does something. My weapon is poison. Not saying it's doing a lot, but it's something. Lucky hit chance, don't care. Ambrosia. We'll be fine. And it's giving me +1 XP. Like I said, we'll get to level 6 without too much difficulty. So we might be using up the the armor. We lost the soul heart, that sucks. Okay, I'm kind of feeding, but it's fine. I'll just use the armor consumable here, and then think about saving souls for armor repair on one of these final rests. Those consumables ended up being pretty high value, even with just 2 armor. Like, the dream is you stack up to like 4 armor, and you're getting like massive value. But even 1 or 2, happy to have them. The stack of soul hearts getting preserved is a big deal. Makes it quite hard to die at the end. Don't care, you break my set. I can look at equipment, sure. Like, it's kind of nice just to skip a room and maybe skip taking damage. None of this is exciting though. Refill a flask, you do nothing. Probably just bomb this chest. I think when you bomb a chest, there's some chance of getting like a soul heart. Is that every type of chest, or is it just a magic chest? I have no idea. Could also open it and find a +3, like the perfect sword for my stats. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna get a little bit of money. Booze. So I have 3 out of 4 tipsiness right now. I can use a bottle of something. Warmech is doing his best. But I think he showed up like 4 out of 5 times this run in his easiest form. Wine is quite disappointing, but damage over time, I mean, I have poison. I did say like I could make the poison a bit better, and I kind of have, with the plus poison duration and plus damage over time. It's still not a big deal, but hey, ticking away at the big bosses, I don't hate it. One final rest. So this is the second final rest before Tiamat. Offhand is nice. Maybe finally see a shield that's better than the one I started the game with. Let's take a look. I am Tiamat, your demise, the rise of Tiamat. Yes, yes, yes. So, Missile Enchanted, Arcane Enchanted. Arcane Enchanted is the more scary one of the 2. I would like to kill the ads ASAP. This pattern isn't too bad. Kind of calm down. Let the bullets pass you by. And with the ads done, yeah, this could be a lot worse in terms of enchantments. I think we got a bit lucky. The missile is concerning there, but they move quite slow. I could try to Contrary to kind of what I said earlier in the other fight, Cerberus, was it? Like, I'm not going to try to dash through this and deal a little bit more damage because it just doesn't seem worth it. He just jumps away a second later, anyhow. And hopefully he dies quickly in this phase. Yeah. Because that's definitely the hardest attack of the fight in terms of dodging. It'd be great if we can get through without losing any armor. Be a little bit careful towards that end. This is an added wrinkle to this attack. Oh my god. Shouldn't be too tough, but it caught me slipping. Should be remembering to dash occasionally on these easier attacks just to get the 5 critical hits. That is not an optimization I am availing myself of too much. Pick a spot that's safe, then dodge the 3 fireballs. Don't have to think too hard here. And difficult attack again, hopefully he will just die before we get hit. I can spam, yeah, I can really spam my dashes with this much stamina recovery. Feels powerful. So Watcher Orb plus 20 power isn't a huge deal, but if my offhand becomes useless by the end of floor 12 because I lost my block already, I can just swap that on and attune it on the final bonfire and feel good that I'm getting at least some benefit, some offense. Yeah. So, okay, that was floor 11, final floor. Take a blessing. We're at 1 armor, so it would be cool to, I guess, recover armor at the final bonfire, or just get an extra mana crystal. Damage with non-critical hits is fantastic, even better than tipsiness or power, because we're not critting, except when we dash. Attack speed is good. We're totally gonna hit level 6, right? Yeah. It's kind of coming down to the wire, but we're getting there. And I'm surprised we haven't had issues with Curse taking away our first choice of trait. I was prepared for that, but I guess we're just high rolling. Get lucky, I guess. Definitely go for the +1 XP, even if it weren't attack speed, which is good anyway. The rotating crystals with a big laser in between them, not too tough. Much more afraid of the quickly rotating lasers. Wait, we're leveling up already? Am I stupid? I think I looked at the meter wrong. It was like 1 from being done, and I thought it was the opposite. Yeah, Rage gives me attack speed. It's fine. Full build. So yeah, wasn't that down to the wire. Probably not going to find any more cheese, so I don't think booze is overly important. Let's take a look at the shop. +5 power per point of evil, +20 power. That's good. Like, I know I said I was going to save souls for recovering armor, but I think I am not going to do that, actually. +5 strength, so look at the scaling on my weapon. I'm at 35 out of 30. The strength is only giving me like top end damage. Just power is more important. And that's spending me down to 3 souls, but I don't believe I'm gonna need to repair my armor urgently. Or at all. So what went right this run? Well, Ambrosia does not get affected by the curse bonus. Good to know. We've experimented with a couple things this run to find out that burgers don't get affected, Ambrosia doesn't get affected. What went right was we picked a just basically fine weapon, not amazing, and then we scaled it, and then we did damage. We didn't commit to some on-hit stuff that wouldn't be good with Deprived. We found perfectly fine. Okay, we got luckier than I'm saying. We got the raincoat set, rubber boots and raincoat. That's giving us a ton of damage. But yeah, what I'm trying to say is like the weapon here wasn't that great. We got a completely fine weapon and we just stuck with it. We didn't have to high roll in terms of that. And it wasn't really synergistic with the plus dexterity gloves that we got. And it just works. It's good enough. You don't have to have something that's like perfect synergy to get through. Just have to say like, this is good enough, we're sticking with it. Amen. I do like this opening attack. Just some pure twitch dodging. And then I like that we get a break, so to speak, here. Doesn't look like too much of a break, but I have an opportunity to kill some ads without actually fighting the boss. So he's physical resistant and totem enchanted. Those are pretty bad enchantments. I only do physical damage and poison, not very much of it. So poison is actually like more useful than I ever expected it to be in this scenario. The physical resistant final boss. And the totems are kind of annoying, but that's a pretty nice one to get. This pattern, he really kind of keels over. You just hug him. This one, you want to run kind of against the grain of the rotation to make it effectively rotate faster so you can find the door to get out, make your escape. I should explain, he curses you, if you haven't fought him before, with the inability to dodge for a few seconds. So you have to walk your way out of that trap. You can't just easily dodge out. And that's phase 1. Even with physical resistance, our damage is completely fine. We're not like killing him in one attack phase, but we're not struggling to get through it either. This is trickier. Ow. With the orange fireballs being thrown in the mix, I'm actually having to use my dash to play it safer. But I could be dashing way more. Like I shouldn't have taken damage at all. I've just been spamming dashes a bit more with the stamina regen that I've got. But I should be able to dodge stuff without having to spam dash. Once again, easy attack. Here made less easy by the fireballs coming directly at me, but just deal with that. Ow. Just not deal with it and get hit. And this one, okay, I thought I could just walk over that before it spawned in, but turns out that I couldn't. I'll try to keep that in mind next time. So we've lost our armor. Will we lose a soul heart by the end of this fight? Did I just get hit? Did I have 5 or 6? I forget already, he's dead. No hit. Okay. I was not able to show off like an actual no hit, but like it wasn't that down to the wire either. We didn't have to play that good. Our build was just pretty strong, despite nothing being that crazy. Look at the stat screens for the record. Yeah, I didn't get like the most synergistic set of traits that are all like buffing each other. I didn't get anything that like used cursed hits, like made cursed hits do double damage or anything like that. I know there's some equipment that works that way. It just kind of came together to be a pretty normal run. Even the glory of being a mega god eventually fades into eternity. So that is 2 achievements plus beating Eamon. That was the goal. That was definitely a more fun run than just the normal runs I've been doing. So I enjoyed coming up with like a little mini challenge. Definitely not as crazy as being like hitless or no dashing allowed, but no mastery points. And using Deprived, which is a bit of a weaker class, ended up being a good challenge. Bye.